Hi, everyone. Today's one of those strange days where I don't really know exactly why I'm coming on to do this video, but I just have this really strong sense that there is some kind of message that wants to come through right now. So I am going to create the space for that through this reading now. Because it's feeling very open-ended, I, of course, want to open it up to all of you because each and every one of you listening here are co-creators who are contributing energy to these readings. So if you have something specific that you'd like to know about or get some more clarity or information about, then you can feel free to transmit those intentions. Of course, you could transmit intentions simply through feeling them in your heart, in your being. You could also transmit them by saying them out loud, by writing them down, or writing them in the comments, whatever feels aligned for you right now. For some of you listening, you may have felt guided to click this video without really having any strong desires or intentions, and that's perfectly okay too. I really believe that if you found this video, there is most likely something here for you. So for some reason, one thing my guides wanted me to talk about is abundance from a 5D perspective. Now, these words, abundance and 5D, are words that we've been utilizing a lot recently on the channel. And this is because collectively, there's been a lot of information being received and downloaded throughout the collective around an abundance mentality, a freedom mentality, a mentality of openness and lack of restriction that allows one to align more easily with higher level frequency states of being that we sometimes simply refer to as fifth dimensional or 5D. So these are really high level conversations. When we start talking from a 5D perspective, we are in essence trying to find 3D words to describe experiences that inherently are not understandable from a 3D perspective. So it can be a little bit of a convoluted process. So bear with me as we kind of begin fleshing out some of these ideas, but I am going to be following the flow of the energy, pulling some cards here as well. And I hope you've been doing really well so far this week. I hope you're having a wonderful start to the week. If you do want to let me know how you've been feeling in the comment section, I would love to hear from you. I really just adore and so appreciate this mutually uplifting and supportive virtual community that we are creating here through the channel. And I know that, again, just like with all of these videos, the community itself is such a co-creative endeavor and process here. So a huge thank you to all of you who are playing such a powerful role in all of that. One thing I've really noticed, and we are going to get back to this concept of abundance and the 5D, but I'm hearing this will actually be connecting with what I'm going to be talking about, but possibly in a little bit of a roundabout way. So anyway, let's kind of move with the thread of energy here. So one thing that I felt today was a heaviness. So for someone listening, you might be feeling heavy physically, mentally, emotionally. There was almost like just this cloud of tired or heavy energy. And it's interesting because at some point in the day, I felt like I just had to lay down because the energy felt so heavy. And I kind of just laid there for about 30 minutes or an hour. And when I got up, I felt a lot lighter. It's almost as though sometimes in those moments, our physical body is processing so much energy, so much information that we are not consciously aware of. And it's just asking us to trust it. It's like your body is saying, trust me. When I feel tired, when I feel run down, when I need a break, trust that I am processing something that you might not be fully consciously aware of that's happening on this other level. So one message coming through just right away is to know that you can trust yourself. And specifically, there's something about building this link of self-trust with your own physical body, trusting those intuitive physical bodily signals, because your body is an extremely intuitive and energetically sensitive mechanism, meaning you have the ability to sense in your body with every fiber of your being when something feels in alignment for you, when something feels off for you. This is why around some people we can just physically feel lighter and more energized, because there is this really positive flow of energy and our body's intuition is picking up on that. But on the other side of that coin, this is also why when you're around someone who might have ill intentions or that you're sensing some kind of heavy energy from, you can feel extremely drained or even get sick to your stomach and things of that nature, because you're picking up on this offness in the energy. And I feel that your guides want to remind you that your body is speaking to you intuitively in every moment. It is communicating to you what it needs to thrive, whether that's a certain kind of food, whether it's movement, stretching, exercise, or stillness, deep breathing, a walk in nature. And the more that this is interesting, this is beginning to tie into this abundance mentality, the more that you can mentally and consciously unravel and release the artificially placed programming around what you think you should be doing, the more receptive you are to your own body's intuition that is communicating to you how to move in alignment with your highest and most harmonious good, with your highest vibrational timeline or pathway, so to speak. Because very often, and this is again starting to circle into or weave into this abundance mentality, which is so much to cover. There is really no way to cover the concept of abundance mentality as it connects and relates with the 5D in this one video. But we're going to just begin that kind of conversation here. So when we are holding on to restrictive belief systems and rigid ways of thinking and viewing ourselves, our lives, the world, these programs that we essentially run on autopilot in our mind, this is when you can almost just feel this or hear this kind of stream of chatter or stream of consciousness in your own mind telling you to do this or to do that. It's not your body's intuition in those moments. It's this kind of chatter, like a mind chatter that's been picked up from your upbringing, from society, from media, whatever it is. But deep beneath all of that is this still, quiet, harmonious sense of knowing. It is that intuitive signal that's coming forth from within. It's just that most of us are blocking that signal without realizing it to some degree because of that mind chatter, those unconscious programs that are kind of running in the background of our minds. And this is actually what creates this subconscious lack mentality, because we are filtering everything that we see, everything that we experience through this lens of our consciousness. And when our consciousness is clouded with these artificial thought programs that aren't really harmonious with our core state, that aren't really connected with who we really are at our core, then what happens is it entirely filters and warps our perception of the world and of ourselves. And it can cause us to remain kind of trapped in these lack prisons or lack mentalities that prevent us from easily accessing higher levels of consciousness, where we can more easily connect with the flow state, where we can create, where we can be more joyful, playful, spontaneous, creative, adventurous, present with others. People who are running a lot of these programs, people who are living very unconsciously that you probably interact with on a daily basis, do not have the capacity for full presence in a conversation or with another human being, because they are constantly half listening to or distracted by all of those artificial mind programs kind of playing in their head. So much of elevating our consciousness is really just about peeling back the layers, releasing any thought programs that are not who we really are, and allowing ourselves to connect more with that natural core state. So I know that we're kind of talking at a sort of quantum level here, but I feel as though part of your spiritual journey at this moment has been helping you to connect mind, body, and soul, helping you to more intuitively hear and respond to the intuitive signals of your body without judging or labeling those signals through those lenses of artificial programming. Learning to trust yourself and to trust your body and to trust your intuition at all levels and layers more deeply. So for some of you listening, you might actually be doing very specific things to enable this mind, body, soul connection. I keep seeing someone doing yoga. So maybe yoga, stretching, some kind of movement is being incorporated here to assist you with this. Of course, meditation is another way, especially if you are doing deep breathing exercises during meditation, breath work. This is a really great way to help you connect more deeply with your physical body by connecting with your breath. But one download that kept coming through that I've actually been getting off and on over the last couple years is the body is the portal of all creation. And that is why it's so important to honor, to care for, to listen to connect with your physical body. Because in a sense, just like a woman will get pregnant and give birth through her physical body, you are in your body regardless of whether or not you are someone who ever has or ever desires to have children. You are energetically, constantly receiving and giving birth to ideas that are growing naturally within your own energy, within your own mind. And the most effective way to give birth to these ideas continuously, to stay in that flow state of manifestation, is to become deeply connected to and attuned to your own physical body, its intuition, and its signals. So I know this seems a bit random to be diving into here, but for some reason, I just really feel that this is coming up for someone here listening, I'm also getting that in a general sense when it comes to holistic abundance, meaning abundance in all forms and in all areas of our lives. The thing that has been coming through very strongly, especially the last year and really the last 2 years, has been that abundance is such a comprehensive thing, meaning that oftentimes, when we think of lack or abundance, we are thinking strictly in terms of money or material things. The interesting thing about abundance is it's actually an energy that we must actively open, unlock, and cultivate in every single area of our lives. Because if we have a strong attitude of restriction, lack, and limitation in one aspect or area of our lives that's really dominant for us, it can actually attract or affect the abundance that we attract in another area of our lives. So what I mean by this, for example, is if you are someone who has a lack mentality towards your physical body, or you've picked up a lot of those self-critical, self-judgmental societal programs that we are all ingrained with, and this has caused you to view your body from a perspective of lack, whether that means being really rigid or harsh with your body, not honoring those intuitive physical signals because society has told you that it's not proper to honor some of those signals at certain times. When we start to view our physical body from a lack perspective, a judgmental perspective, a critical perspective, noticing how we feel it's deficient or not measuring up to these artificial standards of society. Interestingly, this lack mentality in that one area of our lives can affect the amount of abundance that we are allowing to flow in another area of our lives. For example, when it comes to our finances, our work, etc. But the same is true in everything. So in any area of our lives, when we are really harsh with ourselves or holding on to these really rigid systems based around a lack perspective, this will actually limit us. It'll kind of cap us out on the amount of abundance we can receive overall in our lives or in other areas of our lives. But the flip side of this is also true. This is why, especially for those of you who resonate more so with the divine feminine, but this goes for anyone. But when you're working on cultivating your divine feminine energy, especially, you will read these accounts or see these stories. You've probably come across these of divine feminines who chose to no longer push themselves so hard or to be so harsh with themselves, to be trying to fit into this kind of hustle culture that felt unnatural for them, and to allow more ease and peace and flow into their lives, and to listen more to their inner guidance instead of external guidance about what they should be doing with themselves, with their routine, with their work, with their body. And these divine feminines began to notice that as they cultivated that sense of ease and peace and flow, this opened them up to actually manifesting and receiving more abundance in all areas of their lives, including when it came to material things and monetary things as well. And the abundance that manifested came in alignment with that ease. It came much more effortlessly into their lives. I've seen a lot of stories that relate to this, and maybe you have some stories or anecdotes from yourself or your own life, ways that you began to really ease up in your life, to allow yourself to just move with the flow, to listen more to your intuition, to be more open and receptive. And the way that that caused you to actually experience some kind of material outcome or benefit that was really positive for you, that may have even seemed unrelated, because developing this receptive energy opens us up to receiving in all areas of our lives, receiving more love, more support, more creativity, more positive interactions, conversations, experiences. It's all connected. And that's another thing about manifesting from a 5D perspective, which I will say, it's funny. We talk about manifesting from the 3D versus the 5D. But the thing is, when we talk about 3D versus 5D manifestation, we're not talking as if we have kind of like this choice. Like, okay, we're going to either manifest now from the 3D or the 5D. What we're actually talking about is preparing ourselves for the shift that's already been taking place, the shift we've already undergone to a higher level of consciousness, which requires a different mindset and a different approach to all areas of our lives, including a different approach to how we manifest in our lives. So many of us have come from backgrounds of manifesting more so from the 3D when we were possibly at an earlier stage in our spiritual journey, where we were still more so in that 3D mentality. And so we were running these programs of 3D manifestation subconsciously, in a sense, where manifestations came through kind of pushing things, forcing things, making deadlines, making timetables, making ourselves do things even when we didn't feel like it. That brought us some measure of results from a 3D perspective, that kind of push energy that was much more masculine. The thing that many of us are discovering, you can let me know if you've experienced this, but I've seen this taking place where many of us, as we are ascending to higher levels of consciousness, we're experiencing this kind of human frustration of realizing that those old programs are no longer working on our upgraded operating system. So those heavily masculine programs of push and force and control and discipline and rigidity and limitation and lack, those programs that would bring us a measure of success in the past no longer seem to be working in the same way. This isn't because we're burnt out. It isn't because we're doing something wrong. This is because you have quite literally changed and been upgraded on a cellular level. It's not the program that's changed. It's your operating system. It's your energetic body. You've ascended to this higher level. The thing about ascending to this higher level is there are many people around you and connected to you who are observing you in the physical world, who aren't going to be able to understand why you are operating in the way that you are, why you are choosing ease, peace, flow, surrender. They might even judge you as lazy or delusional even, but in truth, it's just that you are working with an entirely different energetic system than many of those who are still stuck in more of a 3D level of consciousness, who are running and even seeing results from those same old programs. In a sense, you are a pioneer. I'm hearing you're like a beta tester of a new energetic system spiritually that many people do not have access to. You are paving new pathways. You are showing new ways to success, to abundance. I have the feeling that whatever you're doing in your life, you are doing in a very unconventional manner. So even if you are accomplishing or desire to accomplish certain traditional successes, a certain level of recognition, status, whatever you desire, regardless of what those desires are, I feel that if you've aligned with this video and if you've listened this far, you are someone who is going about manifesting those things in a very unconventional way. And at times you might question or second guess yourself. You might wonder, why am I doing it in this way? Why can't I use those old tried and true programs that used to work for me and that seem to be working for so many others, but that just feel so off to me now, that just feel so resistant to me now? Trust those feelings. When something feels resistant to you, when it doesn't feel in harmony with you, even if it used to work for you or you've seen it work for other people, trust that intuitive guidance within yourself. Now, I say that again as though we have a choice, because you already know from experience that this is a very guiding energy, meaning there's really no risk here in getting it wrong, because this energy is going to continue to guide you. It's kind of that idea of how a lesson will keep coming up for you in the form of different events, different circumstances, different people, until we integrate the lesson. Well, that's a form of a guiding force in our lives. And this 5D ascension track that you are on is very much a guiding force in that way, meaning there really is no resisting it. You do have the free will to make choices in the moment, but it's going to continue to redirect you, to realign you, to remind you, hey, this is feeling off, and that is much more in harmony with where you've evolved to. And eventually those feelings of harmony or disharmony become so evident and obvious that it gets easier and easier to follow that pathway. And that's not to say that this is easy, because again, if you've connected with this video, I'm also picking up that you are one of the first in your soul group to be upgraded in this way. That is probably why certain aspects of your life have truly just looked so different from the people around you, possibly just so strange or unconventional. Your life has looked very different, or you feel very different from the people around you, because you are, I'm getting the first or one of the first in your soul group, meaning the group of souls that you tend to physically incarnate with across lifetimes. You are one of the first or the first to have access to this higher energetic technology to ascend in this way. And yet you're still connected to all those others. So you are meant to be leading by example. You are meant to be showing through the example of how you live your life, so full of love, so full of joy, so full of creativity. Truly an abundance mindset at all levels. I mean, that's pretty much just what we summed up with the description of how you are living your life. You are approaching your life with openness, with freedom, with abundance, and that's how you treat yourself as well. And that's the energy that you radiate, and it's the pathway that you show to others. Wow. So I wasn't expecting the video to take this kind of turn. As you may have noticed, we actually ended up not even pulling a single card during this so-called reading, but it sometimes happens that way. So I guess that was the message that just really wanted to come out through this video. I hope this reached you wherever you are, whenever you are. If there was something here for you, if you are feeling a resonance with my energy, then of course you can subscribe to the channel. I also do have an Instagram. It's at Magnetize Yourself, so you can follow me there as well. And I do want to share with you here at the end of this video that I also have a subliminals app that is now available in both the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. You guys who watch my channel frequently know that this app has been such a passion project for me. And I'm so passionate about subliminals because I personally discovered them many years ago when I was in a dark place and going through a difficult time in my life. And I found that after trying many, many different manifestation tools, subliminals were really the most effective tool I discovered to help me reprogram my own mind and shift my energy to a more positive, magnetic state of being. And over the course of time, using subliminals regularly has played a huge role in assisting me in creating and manifesting so many things in my life, and I continue to use them every single day. I actually personally use my own app as well because I do just have so much passion for it. So specifically for this reading, if you are interested in exploring these subliminals in my app, I would really recommend checking out my 7 chakra clearing subliminal and also my ultimate alchemist transformation, because these are, well, first of all, the 7 chakra clearing is more so designed to help you deeply clear out your energy through all 7 chakras and shift into a higher vibrational state of being. It's a really great daily comprehensive energy clearing tool that would be so helpful, especially for someone like you who is one of these kind of so-called pioneers of this new level of frequency, because you're most likely someone who's also very sensitive to energy and who most likely picks up on negative vibrations as well. So this will really help you to keep your energy in a very clear, aligned state. The Ultimate Alchemist Transformation Subliminal is a bit more specific. You can read through the affirmations there and see if they connect with you, but it's meant to help you get the energy flowing and moving in more positive directions in specific areas of your life when it comes to manifesting your absolute dream life. And of course, there are over 100 subliminals really for all different areas of life in the app. So there's a lot there to check out and explore, and so much more coming soon as well. So if you do want to check out the app, you can find it by searching Sound and Soulful in the App Store, or you can go directly to the download page by clicking the link that I'll be leaving in the pinned comment and the description box underneath this video. So, wow, what a video. I wasn't expecting this to be coming out today. I know we're talking more so at what I call kind of the quantum level here. Well, I wasn't the one that coined that term, but what I've been saying through many of these videos is that we've been having these kinds of quantum conversations here. So I'm so interested to know your thoughts, your experiences, any perspectives that you have. If you feel guided to leave a comment. But otherwise, I wish you all well. I hope you have a really great remainder of your Monday, and I will connect with you here again in the next video.